breakthrough today. Putco Bus Company back on the road. After over a week of protest, disruption, a wildcat strike, drivers, it seems, have now accepted the latest wage deal offer. Unions were asked to renegotiate after workers rejected a 6% increase, but it was an increase without back pay and with a push to take action, disciplinary action, against the 105 drivers who'd been on that unprotected strike. Well, eNCA's Nqobile Madlala has been following this all the way through, and she joins us now. Nqobile, thank you so much. So it seems that the buses are back on the road, or getting back on the road, which is great news for the commuters. What are the drivers saying about this deal and how they feel about starting work again?
Well, Sally, in a way, they're still not satisfied. We know that they're saying that they still want the unions to negotiate, and they still want them to look into the 105 people that have lost their jobs. But what they are worried about, though, is their passengers on the road, and they said that they were willing to go out and work. And that's what they are willing to do at this point, but they want the negotiations to go and continue, and they have tasked the unions to continue the talk. But of course, that talk did continue, Sally. It continued throughout this day. I will tell you what Putco did say after that, but we do know that the unions as well, they're still very much worried about what happened on the ground. They do feel like there's a lot that could have been done, but at this point they were just mitigating because there was a lot that had happened, especially because the strike was unprotected. But let's listen in as they explain further.
The employees disagree on the proposal that the employer has made, but the NUMSA had to go back and relook on that proposal. So now what happened as the employer still stand on 6% without back pay. So now what is happening is we agreed that maybe we are going back to work, resume the operation, and they will discuss while the operation is going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit confusing because they're saying they're not really happy, but maybe that's the nature of compromise. Everyone ends up a little bit unhappy. What are the unions saying about the nuts and bolts of the agreement, or the level of agreement that's been achieved?
Well, Sally, the agreement at this point is that 5,000 across board will be given to all the drivers. They will be implementing the 6%. But the unions really feel like if the process were, if the workers did let the process go through the labor courts, they potentially would have gotten more. But of course, the workers at that point were already disgruntled. It had been over 2 years of fighting for such. And so they wanted it to be done now. So now Putco has compromised and decided to give them 5,000 rand that will be paid across board to everybody. But the unions are saying that despite everything that's been put on the table, they do still feel like the 105 people, which we know now that might also go up because of all that has been happening and the investigations that will be ongoing, that they still need to be looked at. We know that from Putco, Putco has also opened up their doors, saying that those people, they are allowed to do an appeal, and that's what exactly the unions have been doing today, going back and forth, trying to understand how they can save those jobs from being lost. But over and above, Sally, what they were worried about was that the operations were not ongoing. But now that they're back on the road, this of course opens up an opportunity for them to be able to start those conversations on a better slate, not when people are disgruntled, not when people are still fighting. So that it remains to be seen what will come out of it. But we do know that from Putco says the 105 people will stand. The decision remains until the unions do go through the appeal, then only will they speak about what happens next. But let's listen in.
On the table is the 6% that they offer, which will be effective from the 1st of October. And then they couldn't pay employees e-back pay, but they are replacing e-back pay with 5,000 flat rate for each employee, and they are going to pay employee bonus. They've made two options to pay bonus effective from 1 November, which will be run to a period of 18 months, and then the other option is to pay employees bonus effective from February next year, 23, for a period of 12 months. That's the only, and the other thing that the company didn't want to reinstate the 105 employees that has been dismissed They've made it clear that the unions have to submit and the process of appeal must unfold.
So certainly some details still to work out, but the good news, of course, is that Putco buses are back on the road, which will be very welcome for, I think it's over 150,000 commuters who make use of Putco buses. Thank you so much for that update, eNCA's Nqobile Madlala. Now, still